Lesson 5, Loops in Python. Hello everyone. Welcome to the 5th lesson of our Python course. Today, we will talk about loops. Loops are one of the most important tools in programming. They allow you to repeat operations many times without rewriting the code manually. We will study two types of loops. For a while, we will see how they work in practice, solve problems, and analyze common mistakes. I am sure that by the end of the lesson, you will be able to use loops in your projects and code. So, let's get started. Part 1. The for loop. A for loop is used to iterate over the elements of a sequence, such as a list, a string, or a range of numbers. Inside the loop, we specify a variable that will receive the value of each element. Example 1. Iterating through a range. Let's start with a simple example. Suppose we need to print the numbers from 0 to 4. We can use the range function. Watch carefully. For I in range 5, print f iteration I. Each time the loop executes, the variable I takes on the next value from the range. As a result, we get the output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Example 2. Iterating through a list. Now, another example. Imagine we have a list of fruits, and we want to print their names. Fruits equals apple, banana, cherry. For fruit in fruits, print f I love fruit. Note, the variable fruit iterates over each element of the list. As a result, we see the phrase I love apple, then I love banana, and so on. Example 3. Iterating through a string. The for loop can also iterate over the characters of a string. For example, word equals Python. For letter in word, print f letter, letter. In this case, the letters of the string are processed one by one. Practice task. Try writing a program that calculates the sum of numbers from 1 to 10. Hint. Use a for loop and add each number to a counter variable. Part 2. The while loop. Now let's talk about the while loop. This loop repeats as long as the specified condition is true. That is, we define when the loop should stop. Example 1. Counting with a while loop. For example, we have a counter that increases until it reaches 5. Counter equals 0, while counter less than 5. Print f counter, counter, counter plus equals 1. At first, the variable counter is 0. As long as its value is less than 5, the loop is executed. In each step, we increase counter by 1. Example 2. Infinite loop with break. Be careful with while loops. If the condition is always true, the loop will never end. To prevent this, you can use the break statement to exit the loop forcefully. For example, while true, name equals input, enter your name, or exit to end. Quote, if name equals exit. Print, exiting the loop. Break, print, f hello, name. Quote, this code keeps asking for the user's name until they type the word exit. This is very useful for creating interactive programs. Practice task. Write a program that asks the user for a password until they enter the correct one. Don't forget to add an error message if the password is incorrect. Part 3. Nested loops. Sometimes we need to use one loop inside another. This is called nested loops. Example, multiplication table. For example, if we want to create a multiplication table for numbers from 1 to 5. For I in range 1, 6. For j in range 1, 6. Print f I asterisk j equals I asterisk j. Print quote dash 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 quote. Note, the outer loop is responsible for numbers from 1 to 5, and the inner loop multiplies them. Each time the outer loop moves to the next number, the inner loop is executed completely. Practice task. Create a simple number guessing game. The user's task is to guess a number between 1 and 10. If the guess is incorrect, display a hint, greater or less. Part 4. Useful functions and error handling. The range function. The range function supports 3 arguments: start, end, and step. For example, if we want to print all even numbers from 2 to 10, we can use a step of 2. For I in range 2, 11, 2, print f even number I. Handling errors. When working with loops, it is important to handle possible errors. For example, if the program asks for a number, but the user enters text, the program may crash. To avoid this, use the try except construct. While true, try num equals int, input, enter a number, quote, print f, your number, num, break, accept value error, print, this is not a number. Try again. Now the program will not terminate with an error if the user enters text instead of a number. Summary. Today we learned how for and while loops work, and we also explored nested loops. We learned to use the range function and handle exceptions to avoid errors. Homework. Write a program that finds the sum of all numbers from 1 to n, where n is entered by the user. Use a for loop to do this. Make sure the user enters a valid number. Closing remarks. Thank you for your attention. In the next lesson, we will begin to study functions, which will help us write cleaner and more convenient code. I hope this lesson was useful for you. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you there. All issues have been addressed, and the content is now ready for use in teaching or presentations. Let me know if you'd like further refinements. Smile.